Hello everyone, welcome once again to the world of English exams. Today's video is going to be the second of the three parts of the solved reading test videos from our YouTube channel www.worldoфenglishexams.com, and this video is going to be the second section from Cambridge IELTS 14 General Training Reading Test 3. So we have already released the first video in which we have answered few more question types, but in this video we are going to look at two important question types, that is note completion and flowchart completion. So these are very simple and easy ones, but most of the students are getting confused and taking a lot of time in answering these questions, particularly the general training candidates. So what I thought was I should help you in solving these questions one by one from the Cambridge past papers, and particularly I have taken the latest release from Cambridge, that is IELTS 14. So let's get started, and we are going to identify how to answer these question types with the right strategy. So stay tuned till the end of the video if you wish to understand how to answer these two question types. So let's start first with note completion. So questions 15 to 21 in the third test of Cambridge IELTS 14 General Training belong to this question type called note completion. So this question type falls under the category of fill in the blanks, which is the most frequently seen question type in the reading test, both for academic as well as for the general training versions of the test. So this is very easy because the answers are usually in a sequence. So you need not worry too much and keep skimming and scanning the whole of the passage every single time you have to answer these questions. So you can start from the beginning, and once you find the first answer, you can be assured that the rest of the answers will be found in the sequence. Okay, so let's see how to identify this question type. So this is what you will see on the test day. Let's imagine. So you can see that the heading clearly states, the instructions state complete the notes below. Hence this is note completion. What is more important is to look at the word count. Students who properly identify and understand the word count will not face any issue with answering these questions. So please understand how to answer, how to make sure you identify the word count. Here the word count says choose no more than 2 words. So no more than 2 words indicates that the maximum limit for answering these questions is 2 words. But that does not mean that every answer should be a 2-word answer. Some answers can be 1 word and some others can be 2 words. Please make sure you're understanding this. And sometimes the instructions may also specify you to write a number, but in this case we can be assured that no answer is a number because the word instructions only mention no more than 2 words. So it's nowhere mentioned that you can write a number, so let's not worry too much about it. And the heading here is given as Guide to Employees on Workplace Monitoring. So before we proceed to answering the questions, let's understand the 3-step method that you need to follow while answering these questions. Very simple and straightforward. Step 1, read the instructions. We have already done that. We have read the instructions thoroughly. Then step 2, underline the keywords. Keywords play an essential role in any question type, in every single question type of the reading test. Not just reading, but also listening, writing and speaking for that matter. Then third step is read the related text and answer the questions. Very simple, because we have already understood how to underline the keywords. We should also know how to predict the answers, which I'm going to help you now. So if you are a candidate who has to first read the passage well before answering the questions, I am just giving you the passage here. So this is part 1 of the passage and this is the continuation. So please pause the video right here and give yourself sufficient time, let's say 2 minutes or 3 minutes, how much ever time you generally take to answer these questions. Then after this you read this also, then start answering the questions. But if you talk about the case where students need not read the passage and answer the questions, then directly we may progress to the questions and read the statements and then come to reading the text, which I am going to follow right now. Generally for me, If I read the text first, I would be wasting a lot of time, and this makes me feel tensed towards the end of the test, because I know that in the reading test, in the main exam, I would only get 1 hour of time to complete the test along with transferring the answers. So I don't want to waste time by reading the passage first. So I will directly go to the questions, but of course the call is yours, so you can take the call on that. So let's start answering these questions. The first statement, the first side heading, I mean, says your employer may monitor you. What is the meaning of monitor? Monitor is nothing but may notice, may note, may observe. So your employer may monitor you at work by checking. He or she may check recordings of your activities. That is the first one. Let's see where we got this context. Employers have the right to monitor your activities in many situations at work. For example, your activities may be recorded on CCTV cameras. Okay, what is the next thing? Your letters and dash. So two things are given. One is letters, the other is something else which we need to identify. So the answer is a noun. Why? Because letters is a noun. Hence the accompanying word can also be a noun. Let's see where we got the context of letters. Your letters may be opened and read. In addition, what is the meaning of in addition? And. So yeah, letters, and your employer may use an automated software program to check the emails you receive. So he or she is going to monitor your letters and emails. Guys, please observe that the answer is given in its plural form. If you write it in the singular form by any means, it would be considered as an error, because for note completion particularly, you need to follow the same thing as given in the text. You're not at your will and wish to change the form of the answer. You need to follow whatever you see. Hence the answer is emails. Are you clear, guys? Let's move on to the next one. Your phone calls and which websites you have visited may also be seen. See, let's read this. Phone calls may be listened to and recorded, and a log of websites you use may be checked. So are you observing that the answers are being given in a sequence? That is the beauty of note completion. Now let's progress by reading the question. Rules for monitoring are established by data protection law. So let's see where we got this. All forms of monitoring are covered by data protection law. So okay, this states that employers must carry out a procedure known as dash before introducing monitoring. So before they introduce any sort of monitoring, they have to carry out or follow a procedure which is called. So what is the name of that procedure? Hence the answer is a noun. Let's see. Data protection law doesn't preventing monitoring in a workplace. However, it does set down some rules about the circumstances in which way the monitoring should be carried out. Okay. Before deciding whether to introduce monitoring, your employer should identify any negative effects the monitoring may have on staff. This is called what? Impact assessment. So what is the answer for this question, guys? Impact assessment. Can you see that the answer is in 2 words? Yes, wonderful. So shall we answer the subsequent set of questions now? Are you able to follow me? Wonderful then. So let's continue. In general, monitoring is legal. Legal means it's accepted by law. It is lawful. Okay. So monitoring is legal if it relates to business. Okay. Let's see where we have read this. Okay. Yeah. Your employer can legally monitor electronic communications in the workplace if the monitoring relates to the business. Okay, that is one which is already given here. If you are using dash intended for work, you are using something which could be a noun that is intended for work specific purposes. What are we using? If it related to business, and the equipment being monitored is provided partly or wholly for work. So what is it intended for work? Equipment is related to work. So what is the answer, guys? Equipment. You are using equipment intended for work and the worker has been informed. Let's see. Except in extremely limited circumstances, employers must take reasonable steps to let the staff know That means staff are being aware. Okay. Monitoring may be used to evaluate. What could be the synonym for evaluate? To monitor, to assess. Okay. So the dash of your work. So something related to work can be evaluated, for which monitoring is being used. Let's see. As long as your employer sticks to these rules, they don't need to get your consent before they monitor your electronic communications, but only if monitoring is for specific reasons. They may be to establish facts that are relevant to the business, or to check the standards. Okay, so the first thing is for listening to phone calls, may assess. See, we got the synonym for evaluate. Assess what? The quality of your work. So to evaluate the quality of your work. So quality is the answer for the 18th question. Then moving on to the 19th one. To stop. So what could be the synonyms for stop? Maybe prevent. Okay. Or find out about dash. Okay. So to stop, where is it given? Let's continue. Monitoring is also allowed for if the purpose is to prevent or detect crime. Crime is the answer for the next one. So here prevent is given as stop, find out is given in the form of detect. About what? Crime. See, if you can notice, not all the answers are two-word answers. Some of them are one-word answers as well. This is what a good student will do by first reading the instructions. Moving on to the next sentence. To stop the possibility of. Possibility is nothing but chance. Or maybe I can say something is likely to happen. So something may happen. To stop the possibility of dash from affecting the systems. So systems are nothing but maybe computers. Okay, it may be necessary to make sure that electronic systems are operated effectively. For example, to prevent. Prevent is stop. Computer viruses. So what is the answer for this, guys? Yeah, you can write just viruses or maybe computer viruses. So both are acceptable. Then last one, to check the calls to dash. These cannot be recorded. So something cannot be recorded, and calls to dash. So some calls we need to find out related to that. Your employer is also allowed to listen to any calls you make to confidential helplines. But in this case, he or she is not allowed to record. So you are making a call to confidential helplines. So that is the answer. You can also write the answer as helplines, but the right answer is confidential helplines. You can write both the words because the instructions mention no more than 2 words. So have you understood how to answer note completion, guys? Have you seen how easy and how direct it is? So this is your answer key. Emails, impact assessment, equipment, quality, crime, computer viruses, and confidential helplines. If you can notice, 2 of these words are given in brackets, which means that they are optional. Even if you don't write those words, your answer is no way affected. So let's now proceed to the answering the next set of questions in this reading test 3 from Cambridge IELTS 14 General Training Reading Test. And that is flowchart completion. So the next set of questions are flowchart completion. Just like we have done previously, we are first going to identify these questions, read the instructions, follow the process, learn the process, and then we will apply this technique. So this is what you will get to see in your Cambridge IELTS 14 General Training Reading Test 3. That is, complete the flow chart below. So this is flow chart completion, and here look at the instructions. One word and or a number. So you're not allowed to write the second word. But here, in addition to words, you can also write a number. This must be identified, guys. Only then you will notice that the answers can be obtained. And let me also give you a small clue here, that the instructions clearly mention that the answer can be written in the form of a number. Don't you think this is a clue? Don't you think that one of the answers, at least one of the answers, will be a number? Yes, so that is perfect prediction, guys. If you can follow instructions properly, you will see how easy it is to answer these questions. Now, without any further delay, let's learn the process of how to answer these question types. So this is the 5-step method that usually the students follow while answering flowchart completion. The first step says read the instructions carefully. We have just done that. We have understood that we need to complete a flowchart, and the instructions say one word and or a number. Then observe the headings and side headings if any. If there are any headings and side headings, we need to underline the keywords in them. So third step followed by this is marking the keywords, then followed by reading the text. Reading the text which is related to the keywords. Because we have underlined the keywords, we can very easily find them out in the passage. And the question type itself says flow chart. That means the order of the answers is followed. The answers will be seen in a sequence. So finally, follow the word count and write the answer. So let's follow this now, but just like I have done while completing note completion questions, I'm just giving you some time. If you are a student who is habituated to reading the passage before answering the questions, so here is the first few paragraphs of the passage followed by these paragraphs. So this is the complete passage. For your better reading, I have just enlarged and I have increased the size of the text. So please pause the video here for a couple of minutes if you wish to read this carefully before you proceed to answering the questions. And once you are ready, let's get started with completing the flowchart. And please bear in mind that you have to write the answer in just a single word or a number or the combination of both of them. You are not allowed to write the second word. If in case you write that, then it would be wrong. So let's first read the title, Applying to International Experience Canada. So here we need to find the keyword, that is applying to International Experience Canada. So where did we find it? Let's go back. International Experience Canada application process. So this is the keyword. Okay, now let's see what are the steps in this process. Fill in the online dash. What could be the answer? Maybe online form. Yeah, so fill in the online dash to get the personal reference code. So we need to get the personal reference code, for which we need to fill in an online dash. Let's see what it is. So if you want to travel or study temporarily in Canada as a part of International Experience Canada, your first step is to become a candidate in one or more IEC pools. What are IEC pools? International Experience Canada. There are 3 categories of pool: international co-op, that is internship, working holiday, and young professionals. Did we get anything related to what we need to fill? No. Let's continue reading. To apply, first use our questionnaire. So what we need to fill? We need to fill a questionnaire to see if you can meet the criteria to get into the IEC pools. So this should take you about 10 minutes of time. So what is the first answer, guys? The first answer is questionnaire. So fill in an online questionnaire, and that too they are clearly saying that this can be, you can find it on www.cic.gc.ca followed by this. So this is the online source. So moving on to the next one, create your dash. Maybe create your profile or something like that. And provide the necessary information for your profile in your application. So first we need to create something and then provide the information. What do we need to create? Let's see. After completing this, if you are eligible, you will be sent a personal reference code which you should use to create your online account. So what do we need to create? We need to create, so the answer is online account, but can you write the second word? No. So because the word instructions mention that you need to write just one word. Hence, what is the answer? Account. So you can't write create your online and provide. Hence, we need to skip that. We need to omit that word online and write the answer as account. Then moving on to the next step, if sent an invitation. Let's see where we get this context about invitation. At the same time, you should fill in any remaining fields with the required information, including which IEC pools you want to be. Okay, some parts will have already been completed. If you are sent an invitation, so now let's see what we do after we get an invitation. You must accept this within dash. Now here comes the context of number. So you need to accept it within a set number of days. So that could be the answer. So let's see. You will have 10 days to decide whether to accept this or not. Then you have 20 days to complete your application. So what could be the answer for this? Let's go back. First, to accept it you will have 10 days, and to complete you will have 20 days. So what is given here? You must accept it within how many days? 10 days. So you have to write 10 as the numerical form and days as DAYS. You just can't write 10 as the answer. Remember guys, you have to write 10 days. So that is the meaning of this instruction, one word and a number. So here the word is days, number is 10. Then you have a limited time to dash the application. After completing it, what do? We have 20 days to complete your application. So then you have limited time to complete the application. So answer is complete. Have you seen how easy it is to answer the questions once you know the protocol? Now let's proceed to the next set of questions. Your dash is required to send you an offer of employment number. So somebody should send you an offer of employment number. So who is responsible for sending that? Let's see. Okay. For international co-op and young professional categories, your employer in Canada must pay the compliance fee and inform you of your offer of employment number. So who is this authority? Employer. So what is the answer? Your employer is required to send you an offer of employment number. Then the next step in the process is upload the copies of any necessary certificates or proof of application. Let's see. Certificates. Okay, once you have received this, you should upload copies of police and medical certificates if required. If you don't have these, you should upload proof that you have applied for them. Then you should pay your participation fee. Okay, so after this, what do we need to do? Make a payment for the participation online. You may receive a dash later if you change your mind. So what do we get if we change our mind? Okay, so you need to pay a participation fee of a Canadian dollar 126 online by credit card. There is a additional payment of 100 Canadian dollars if you are applying for the working holiday category. Okay, so but is there anything given that you may receive a dash if you change your mind? No. So your application will then be assessed. You can apply to withdraw this. Withdrawing is nothing but changing our mind, and will be given a dash refund. So what will we receive? You will receive a refund later if you change your mind. So answer is refund. Then moving on to the last process, if successful, you will receive a letter of introduction to be shown at immigration. So last step is you will receive a letter of introduction which you need to show to the immigration when you enter Canada. So are you able to understand how to answer these questions, guys? I hope you have followed the process, and this is the answer key: questionnaire, account, 10 days, complete, employer, and refund. So one word and or a number is a very important instruction in this case, else you might get the answer for the 24th question wrong. So please follow this process while approaching any of the fill in the blanks questions, and I'm sure all the answers will be correct. So I will take a leave for now, and I will see you in the next informative video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Your encouragement is highly appreciated, guys, and we are looking forward to receiving your comments on this video. Please do comment and let us know how useful this video was in your endeavor for IELTS. So please share this video and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, World of English Exams. And thank you for your overwhelming response for our latest videos on our channel. So I'm going to give you the detailed links for the description which says the process to answer these questions individually, please check the description box below for the same. Until I see you with the next useful reading solve test videos related to IELTS Cambridge 14, happy preparation guys.